Here's just a lot of information that you could go through. Some of it was on our last one, but real quick, some things that I want to go over. First, getting there and getting back. I have rented two 15-passenger vans, and there's like 7 people coming to the airport on their own. You know, people from Montana, Texas, Orange County. So it's going to be pretty roomy. It's nice. We'll have two 15-passenger vans, and John Eccles also offered up his truck. So our flight leaves Tuesday, November 29th at 3 p.m., 3:05 p.m. In a large group like this, they say you gotta be there at noon together. Usually we all are together, so we'll connect with the other parties at the airport, and I'll probably be talking to you, just making sure they find us and everything like that. So if we got to be there at noon to LAX, we're going to leave at 10. So we're going to be leaving the airport from right here at 10 a.m. So park your car here or get a ride. Getting here, that's up to you guys. But we'll leave at 10. I need 2 drivers for Tuesday. 2 more drivers, one with the truck and one with the van. So just, that won't, it's just where are they? When are they gonna show themselves? We get home Saturday, December 10th, and our flight gets in around 4 p.m. And so we'll have the vans come once again. And you asked, you'll be able to jump in with us from there. And you asked to get a ride home from the airport, which I'm sure that won't be you. Or from the parking lot here.
Airport to here and then the parking lot to my house, which I live right here in a minute.
Okay, yeah, that won't be a big deal. And we get in around 4:30 p.m., something like that. So, by the time we get our luggage and everything, thankfully it's not a weekday, so driving won't be too bad. My wife and I are staying 1 day later. So you guys will fly off, and we're going to stay a day later because, I don't know if you knew, the oldest tattoo shop in the world is in downtown Jerusalem, right near the Jaffa Gate. And they have these like 1,000-year-old templates that Christians were getting tattooed with, that you can like get tattooed by the pattern. Anyways, my wife is like, she's always wanted to go to Israel. She's always wanted a tattoo from there. So the only time we could do it is I was like, we just got to stay a day later. That's what we got to do. So she was like, okay, let's do it. So anything for the missus, right? We are flying differently than what I'm used to flying. Usually we stop in New York. We have a direct flight to Frankfurt, Germany. So that's going to be quite a long trip. The course will probably take us up over Seattle, and we'll fly close to the Caps. We'll fly up over that way. That's the shortest distance. We'll probably come down over, Northern Europe and come down that way. Get off, stretch our legs, and then make it into Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion Airport. This is also the latest I've ever arrived in Tel Aviv. I think we're getting in at around 7 p.m. Normally, if we get in around 2 or 3, it's in the middle of the day, and if we go straight to the hotel, people crash. And it's the worst thing you could do because you want to stay up. You want to try to stay up until it's nighttime. Some of you guys are going to be up all night. But that first hotel, that first night, we are literally on the beach in Tel Aviv. And they put breakers out. It's very mild. And so I remember in times past talking, and people are like, yeah, I took a 2-hour walk on the beach. I couldn't sleep at 4 a.m, and that's totally fine. Because we're getting in so late, we may miss our little stop in Joppa. On the way to Tel Aviv from the Ben Gurion Airport, I like to stop in Joppa real quick, and it just keeps people awake. The ocean breeze is right there. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk to Ike and see what the timetable is. I think the most important thing is just that we're up and ready to go. So the very next day, our first tour day, we start to make our way north, Caesarea Maritime, and we visit the northern part of Israel before we go to the Dead Sea, and then we finish off in Jerusalem. And when you get to Jerusalem, that's when you can kind of camp a little bit. Your suitcase gets a little bit messier because we're there for several nights. So here's just a few reminders of things that I think are important. If you go to the packing list, of course, bring your Bible, passport. Don't forget your passport. That would be terrible for you. The Choral Tours packet. This will be a packet that you end up getting. Now, in the past, they would issue physical tickets. They might send me all the tickets again. Usually it's an e-ticket now. In today's world, you basically show them your passport and they give it right away. So don't worry about if you haven't got a packet or whatever. Definitely a backpack, something to take around while you're traveling. Taking notes is going to be a big thing. We visit so many sites that even your pictures, at the end of the day, you're like, oh yeah, that was cool, huh? Where was it? And if you can have some organized way to keep track of yourself, where, day one, first stop, Caesarea Maritime. And it just kind of helps you with your pictures. It helps you to stay organized because we're going to visit so many places. It's super fun. Being able to highlight, pin, take notes. I usually do, a short 10-minute teaching at each place. Just to this is what happened, open our Bibles, we get into it. You're going to want money, more than you think you'll need, and in small bills. I bring 100 $1 bills. Bring at least 50. Because they take the American dollar, and it's nice to have ones, because any change, you give them, if something is worth $4, and or let's say something's worth $2 and you give them a 5, you're going to get $3 back in shekels, and it's just coins. And if you've ever been on vacation, you get loaded with these coins, you don't even know what to do with them. So the ones are nice. It eliminates all the change, So I bring lots of 5s, lots of 1s. You don't got to worry about getting Israeli money. That's not an issue. You can use your card, just like if you travel anywhere. There's places where it's like, I know I can use my card here. You can always ask me or our guide Ike. And then there's some places where it's like, I'm not going to use a card here. This would not be smart. When you're bartering, when you're in downtown Jerusalem going through the shops, and you're souvenir shopping and stuff, you want cash for sure. Everything is paid for except in the middle of the day when we're out. We have a big buffet breakfast, big buffet dinner, tons of selection except pork. But there's usually fish, chicken, and beef at every meal. Eggs, they have it all. But in the middle of the day, if we stop for a schnitzel and a coffee or any souvenirs, that's when you'll want to be using your own money. Sunglasses, sunscreen, hat, hand sanitizer. Remember all those things. Snacks for the bus ride. You can pack those in your check-in suitcase. A folding umbrella. There might be a day or two when it rains. Maybe not. We might not get any. But if it does, it's nice to have a little umbrella. A poncho or rain jacket is also nice to have. Throw it on real quick. And what I do, in the bus seats are really comfortable. They're like bucket seats, 2 next to each other. We're going to be able to spread out in the bus too. We're not going to be like sardines. So there's probably going to be enough room for you and your spouse or a friend to sit and maybe throw your backpacks on the one next to you. We're not going to be like so cramped up. But even above us in the overhead, there's a little storage area. And I always throw my umbrella and my heaviest jacket up there. And it's usually just a poncho. And so you're going to be dressing in layers. It's just, I mean, if you were to ask, like, what's the closest that you can compare the weather to? You would say San Diego. And it's not just because we live here. It's on the same line. The weather patterns are very similar. And so you could get mid-70s in the daytime, and you could get 40s at nighttime, right? So you know how the weather changes a lot here? It's the same thing. So dress in layers. I'm typically in shorts and a t-shirt, and then I'll bring a hoodie, and then I'll have my heavier thing. And so sometimes you'll literally be in a heavier thing in the morning, and then sun comes out, and then you're just in your hoodie or a light jacket, and then by noon you're like, okay, I'm in my t-shirt again. You know, it's very, very layered like that.
Can I ask a quick question
Yeah.
on that? Mm-hmm. So are we gonna have to carry everything with us all day? Like you said, different jackets and stuff?
If you get off the bus, whatever you got on you, you got to carry. Yeah. So for me, I always have my little backpack because I got my iPad because I'm teaching. And if I have a hoodie and it starts to get warm, I just tie it around my waist. A lot of jackets around waists if we're out and about. And then the next time you get in the bus, you can put it back. Yeah.
You can't leave it on the bus?
Yeah. You can leave. I've left everything on the bus at all times. The driver stays with the bus. He never leaves. Never had an issue. There's no robberies in Israel. They're good to each other. They know they can't afford to do crime against one another, so your stuff will be pretty safe. Prescription medicines in the original container. Small, like Ziploc baggies. I would encourage you to bring some because, you know, if you like collecting things, if you grew up, you know, searching for arrowheads, there's going to be tons of stuff at these sites. You can take what you want because the archaeologists have been through it all. So, you know, when we go to the Valley of Elah, you might want to grab a stone out of the riverbed. You know, David grabbed 5 stones, little things, and you can just collect your pottery pieces or whatnot. Let me go through this list and then I'll open it up for questions, okay? Swimsuit, definitely. Okay, bring a swimsuit, especially if you want to be baptized in the Jordan. If you have a wetsuit, you know, it's not July, you can wear that too if you want. That's to get baptized. Also to take a dip in the Dead Sea. There's going to be lots of time for you to go out and float in the Dead Sea. It's one of the coolest experiences you'll have where you're just the buoyancy is amazing. And, you know, you'll see people, you know, taking the mud and putting it all over their body. Cleopatra always was sending people to the Dead Sea for minerals, so it's been used for thousands of years for skin products. And there's the biggest company is called Ahava, and it's skin products from the Dead Sea. And we'll have a time where you can shop. You know, they have everything. You know, skin creams, soaps, exfoliants, and other fancy creams and lotions. Swimsuit's a big thing. Layers of clothes. Bring 2 pairs of walking shoes at least. You know, a nice, comfortable pair of like Nikes. A good pair of hiking shoes. You won't need boots, but if you want to go on the Engedi hike, there's going to be times where we are at a very comfortable pace walking through nature. And the Engedi hike that scares some people, that's optional. Okay, to go back in there. So not everyone's going to have to. But there's going to be a time when you're walking down the Mount of Beatitudes on a dirt road, and it's very gradual. But still, I'd rather wear my North Face waterproof shoes for that. You know, don't bring just 1 pair, because if you bring 1 pair, you wear those shoes every single day, and they start to get a little stinky. That's one reason. So I alternate shoes. I'll wear a pair and then let them breathe, because I don't want stinky feet. And then also, you know, you never know in your soul, you know, you blow a tire or something like that. So at least 2 pairs of good walking shoes. Anything you need for the long overseas plane ride, neck pillow, entertainment. You know, you will have your own TV, but if you got a show on Netflix, this is the time to download those on your phone or your iPad, or books, something to entertain yourself on these flights. Long international flights, too, it's pretty common for people to walk around. You know, I usually, if I'm on a long flight like that, I'll get up and I'll go stand near the back and I'll just lean up against the wall, like near a lavatory or in the back where, you know, the stewardess serve food. I'll just get in a way where I'm not in the way, and I'll just stand up and read for like an hour. And I'll just kind of like stretch my calves. If you got circulation issues, you know, they tell you to like move your ankles. Don't be afraid to stand up, get up, walk. With a big group like this, I don't know the seating assignments yet. So if there's someone you want to sit next to, when we show up and check in, we'll ask those questions then. Because I'm concerned about that because, you know, we have, Ashley and I have Hope coming. And so we, you know, it's like bassinet seat, or is there any seats where we can have one in the middle? You know, that'll be a blessing. I don't know who it was, but someone's like, yeah, we'll rope a place off so Hope can walk everywhere amongst us. Yeah. Make sure you get an adapter, because Israel uses 220 volts. So you can get this at Walmart, Target. You can order it on Amazon. In America, we have the little flat prongs that go into the wall. They don't use the flat ones. They have two round ones. And you got to make sure you have the right round ones, because there's other places in the world that use big round pins, and then this is a certain size. And so you want to make sure to get the right adapter. And then, you know, I just use the little tiny one, and that charges my MacBook, charges my iPad, my phone, and you'll be good. That's a lifesaver. Also, the wired earbuds with a round plug-in. Daniel, can you hold up your? Daniel has an earpiece right now, and I'm just having him show it up because this is what they're going to give to you. Okay, so it's a little earpiece that goes into a little box that'll have batteries, and you put it on your belt or you put it in your pocket or something like that. Here's what it's for. I like to request a wireless microphone. And this microphone bends around my neck so that when I'm, So when I'm teaching, you guys don't have to be like right next to me to hear me. I don't have to scream. And you guys, you know, you can also like, you can be a little bit away in a crowd and still hear. And so these earpieces are really nice, but I don't like the way they fit. And I don't know if you just saw it like kind of flips over, and it's always hanging off my ear. And so I like to bring my own earbuds, just like Apple ear, the ones that fit in my ear. The other one that goes in my left ear, I just like tuck it in my shirt or something. And then I just plug it in. So that's just a tip. Maybe you like the big uncomfortable thing covering your ear. I like the earbuds. And it's got to have the old school round plug-in. So it can't have the flat one. This is like 10 years old technology. Round plug-ins, and then you can hear through that. And then it'll be like, everyone get on channel 4 or whatever, and then you can hear the microphone. It's quite nice. I recommend a book or any Tour of the Holy Land book. It's nice you can look at places before you go, get a little bit of acquainted with it. All the historical sites and their biblical references are right there. If you want to, some people really want to be familiar with the Bible stories before they go. Some people are like, whatever. So that's there for you. There's a lot of details in here in the whole packet when it comes to medicine, passport, clothing, all that kind of stuff. On the front page, let's go over clothing. It says dress and layer, shirt or blouse, pants or skirt, plus sweater, plus a warm waterproof jacket. Bare midriffs are not appropriate for this tour. Shorts are appropriate in most areas, but are not in others. Long pants are required to enter the Temple Mount. So if you bring no pants, you will be staying at the hotel that day. They won't, or you'll be on your own that day. So bring at least 1 pairs of pants. You know, there's some people and they're like, shorts till I die. And if that's you, that's cool. You can wear shorts most of the trip, but bring 1 pair because you'll definitely want it for that day. Or maybe there is a rainy morning and, you know, we want to wear pants. The Middle East, it is very modest. You know, they kind of look at Western women and they just think, you know, whatever, we're not holy. So we try to be respectful by, you know, no spaghetti straps. No, is this still a thing? If I say Daisy Dukes, everyone knows that? You know, Cheryl, I know you like your short shorts and all, but, you know, on this trip, could you? Thank you. You had a question a bit ago. Yeah.
Prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Related to that, how about over-the-counter medicines? Do they have to be in the original pills as well, or just prescription?
I usually have over-the-counter pills in the original. Yeah, it's just helpful. Because Israel will profile, they take security very, very, very serious. In fact, you'll hear the guide say, don't even make a joke about terrorists in anything. You know what I mean? Like, they take it very serious. If you have Iranian descent, if you have any Middle Eastern descent in your name, they will take you at LAX, and we won't see you for about 2 hours until you get on the plane. It's just what they do. No worries. They're just going to ask you questions. It's just how they do it, you know? And so, yeah, when you go through security in Israel on the way home, you might have to open your suitcase. They just, they make sure it's safe. Yeah.
So you're saying if we take vitamins, you gotta bring the whole bottle?
No, I don't think so. I think you can be fine, but they might look at them. They might pull them out. You guys know the rules with liquids. You know, any big liquids, perfume, anything, they'll take them. They have to be in 4-ounce bottles, clear bottles, and they have to be in a baggie. But the over-the-counter, the stuff, I don't know. I've never just put vitamins and stuff in a bag. I've always had, you know, it in the original packaging. So that's a question. If you really want to find out, you might call Coral Tours and ask them. You know? Yeah. Other questions? Yeah.
A lot of us use our Bible as a Bible. Do we have problems getting that work over there?
You will have no problems. So when it comes to your phones, even 5 years ago, you would have to call your phone company and tell them, I'm going to this country and this country. I need to set up a plan. You don't have to do that anymore. I just learned this out because I just went to Europe in July, and I called, and they said, oh, you don't, thanks for letting us know, but in all of these countries, it's $10 a day. I'm AT&T, so unlimited texts, unlimited internet, unlimited phone calls for $10 a day. That's what it typically is. You'll have great service, Israel's first world country, so as soon as you land and you push the airplane mode button, and it starts to dial in, you'll get service everywhere. Yeah. So your Bible app will be perfect. Yeah. You'll be able to make calls, receive calls. No problems. Yeah.
So assuming I'm going to get interrogated with my name and
Yeah.
my relatives,
Yeah.
am I allowed to bring someone with me to school?
No.
Or I'm doing it by myself?
No, they'll be kind to you. They'll be nice. They're just going to ask you questions. Yep. I would just be prepared for it. And they might not.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they won't let anyone go with you, though. Yes.
So will we have hair dryers?
I think I remember hair dryers in the hotels. But just in case, I believe so. You know, 3.5, 4-star hotels. I could have selected 5-star. It would have made the trip quite a bit more expensive. So all the hotels are in great locations. I've been to all of them. They're good. They're good hotels.
Speaking of hotels.
Yeah.
So I'm a little, bear with me. So we can keep all of our stuff in the hotel,
100%. Yeah. We're not
Our
go-
stuff around everywhere.
No. Yeah. You will keep your luggage in your room until we're leaving that area, you know. And here's the thing. The night before, like when we're about to get off the bus at the end of the day, we will cover everything for the next day. So we'll give you a heads up. This is what time, you know, IQ will ask if you want a wake-up call. He'll put it in a certain time if you want it. Here's what time breakfast, here's the recommendation, and here's what time's on the bus. And so it's going to be different. You know, some mornings, be it on the bus at 10 a.m. This morning is a little bit busier, be on the bus at 8:30, okay? And we'll have weather, everything like that. Oh, here's another thing, water. Our driver at the front of the bus will always have bottles of water. They're $1 a piece. There's $1. So you can bring your hydro flask or whatever, but he will always, you'll never run out of water, and you can just grab one for $1. And tap water is great to drink in Israel. Tried it, it's wonderful. We're going to a first world country. I've never been in a country that feels more like the United States than Israel, even though it's the Middle East. I've been to like several European countries. None of them feel like the United States. Israel is interesting. It definitely, I don't know, you'll see. So there's low crime. They have great police officers. It's just like traveling. You know, if you go to a hotel in the United States, you're not worried about someone breaking into your hotel room and stealing your stuff. You're not worried about leaving your jacket on the bus, you know, that sort of a thing. Yeah. Suitcases. You're allowed one check-in bag. I think it's no more than, I don't know the poundage, 62 some. It's up to the airline. I always pack less than 50, and I know less than 50 pounds. I mean, if you need 50 pounds for 12 days, you have a very heavy curling iron or something, 50 or less. And then you get a carry-on. You know, and the carry-on's nice to be able to have with you. Yeah.
Is there a stayover in Frankfurt?
There's a layover, not a stayover. Yeah. Yeah. A couple hours. Yeah.
I stayed 8 hours
It's not that long. Yeah.
in Frankfurt.
Not 8 hours. I think one bag each person. Yeah. One check-in for each person.
How are they with cameras?
Great. What do you mean? Yeah. The only time you got to watch your camera is on the Temple Mount, because again, Israel has given that to the Muslims, and so they have their rules. You can't have a Bible on the Temple Mount. You got to be careful with your phone. If you're taking pictures, you're fine, but if you're reading, they might think you're reading the Bible, and they might come talk to you. There was no prayer on the Temple Mount. So there was a woman, another pastor told me this. He had a woman on his tour. It was a hot day. She sat down and just kind of put her head down, like, just taking a rest. And because her head was down, they said she was praying, and they kicked her off the Temple Mount right away. And she had to wait for her group to be done, you know? So that's the only place where I kind of have these rules like this. Yes. I don't know. I didn't look that up. My guess would be around 12, maybe, something like that. I think you fly to Zurich on the way back and then over. Yeah. 10. That's better than 12. Okay. 10's great. That's moving. That's a good airplane to get there in 10 hours. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah. All questions? Yeah, in the back.
You mentioned something about being able to do laundry. Does that mean
Yeah.
there's laundry facilities that we can use, or is it giving it to the hotel?
At the hotel. Yeah.
Does that mean I can do it, or do we have to do that? Fresh
Yep.
guys have them do it?
It's, you know how they have a bag, and then they, like in your closet, they'll have something for you to fill out, like how many pieces of underwear, how many socks. and you put what's in the bag, and then they come get it for you.
And they have it
The next day, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. These are things, I don't know, upon arrival, Then you can kind of be strategic, like, okay, when can I wash my clothes? That sort of thing. I usually wash my clothes once and wear the same clothes twice, Yeah. Sorry, Janine is next. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our first night, we go to Tel Aviv. It's the closest one. From there, we go to Tiberias. So you move from a hotel right on the ocean to a hotel right on the Sea of Galilee. I highly encourage a Sea of Galilee sunrise early in the morning from your balcony. It's amazing. Looking at the same sunset Jesus looked at how many times, We also stay one night in the Dead Sea. And this is my first time doing it. And I'm really excited because more time to float in the Dead Sea. And then from there, Jerusalem. And that's when you'll be like, okay, because Tiberias or Tel Aviv one night, Dead Sea's one night. So that's a suitcase you're getting to your room, and then the next day you're getting it back out, right?
So you said Tel Aviv and then the Sea of Galilee, right?
Yeah,
And then the Dead Sea and then Jerusalem.
yeah.
4 times.
I think it's one night in Tel Aviv. I think it's 3 nights in Tiberias, 1 night in the Dead Sea, and lots of nights. I don't know, 5, 6 nights in Jerusalem, something like that. Yeah. Shopping. Let me talk about shopping. There's going to be times when you're really tempted to stop and buy something. But if it's not designated by us, you're probably just going to slow the group down. And so we'll have times when we tell you now's a shopping time. And the big shopping day is really fun. It's in Jerusalem. We drop you off at the Jaffa Gate. And if you go one direction, there's one long modern strip mall that has modern shops. If you go the other way, there's one long road and you're going into bartering. You're just going in and you find all sorts of stuff, and it's really, really fun. And we give you several hours to be able to just go and do what you want on that day. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so your tattoo shop, the one you go to, is in Jaffa, right?
Jaffa Gate, yeah.
Are they only open on one day?
No, it's just I didn't want to put a tattoo in the trip to be okay, we have to alter our trip for this tattoo. That would be really lame. So we just decided to stay one more day so that it wouldn't interfere with traveling around and stuff like that. You'd have to call them, make an appointment. Yeah, and in your free time, you could do that. That day, you could do that. And maybe you make it back to the bus. If you don't, we'll tell you how to get back to the hotel. Well, our hotel in Jerusalem is awesome. We're near Ben Gurion Street. The night I'm going to be out walking I go nuts when I'm on vacation. I just got to do everything. I'm always. I don't remember. I don't remember this street. Yeah. Food, Mediterranean, with an Israeli twist, which means more garbanzo beans than Greek olives. It's just very healthy. Israelis eat very healthy. The number one meat they consume is fish. The second meat they consume is turkey, both healthy options. Red meat, they eat it, but it's, their culture, they grew up, and red meat was feast time, birthday time. So red meat is still a privilege. There's little rules. When we get to Jerusalem, you'll be able to have a hamburger, but not with cheese, because you can't mix dairy with the meat, right? We were having a hamburger at this place, no cheeseburger, and a woman brought her iced coffee in, and they yelled at her because she had milk, and it was against law. It was against the law of Moses. They screamed at her to get out because she was breaking the law with her milk at a place where red meat was being cooked. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. A what?
Non-dairy creamer.
I don't know, probably. Yeah, Daniel. Well, Jaffa Gate to the temple is probably a 25-minute walk downhill, then you're uphill back to Jaffa Gate. It's probably 15, 20 minutes walking, probably a mile. I don't know. Yeah, yes, you can. Yeah. Feel free to come in, guys. Don't worry. We're just wrapping up our meeting. Any other questions? I want to answer all questions you might have. Yeah. Most hotels have hair dryers. I want to say yes. I just don't want you to hate me if I'm wrong. Thank you. You won't hate me. They'll have stores. They'll have shops. We can make a stop for someone in need. Yeah. Yeah. I would bring if you have a medical insurance card, I'd bring it. I keep my passport on me at all times. That is on me. My money is always on me. Yeah. You can. I just don't. I feel more comfortable with it on me. Yeah. Welcome, guys.